Okay. Hi guys. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be reviewing the 4th episode of the 12th series of revived Doctor Who, Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror, and I have to say, I really enjoyed this episode. Funny thing is, while I think this would have been an average episode in the Stephen Moffat era, it was a real highlight of the Chibnall era for me. Again, I do love me some historicals. I mean, as with everything, I wouldn't want it every week, but that's one of the things I love about the show. Its ability to have a historical meeting with Tesla and Edison one week, and an adventure set on modern-day Earth with space rhinos the next week. This episode felt like Doctor Who again for me, in a way that last season, and even some of the previous episodes of this season, didn't really. I hope this quality of writing keeps up the rest of the series, or it gets even better. So, the things I liked. The setting. The cinematography on this episode was excellent. The Bulgarian sets and locations looked great. Whether it actually looked accurate to early 1900s New York City, I don't know, because, well, I've never been to New York City in the 1900s. But, nevertheless, it looked excellent all around. The acting was good, too. First, we have the guy who played Tesla. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his name, and I don't want to butcher it, so here it is. Anyway, he made the character very likable, and the episode got me interested in learning more about the real Nikola Tesla. Next, we have Hayla McGee, who played Tesla's assistant, Dorothy Scarrett. She was also written and acted well, so as to make an interesting character. Unlike last week's episode, where I feel like with those guest characters, I didn't really get to know them enough to really be interested in them. And then we have Robert Glenister, returning to Doctor Who in a very different sort of role to the one he played in the Caves of Androzani. He was good in that, and he was great in this too, as the famous inventor Thomas Edison. I liked how, even though they were obviously trying to paint him as a less than likable character, they didn't make him a total buffoon or totally evil either. There are a few moments in the episode where he's shown to have some brains, and some moments where he's shown to have some heart as well. Like, when his whole staff is killed, he's affected by it. He mentions that he had just had dinner with one of the men, and regretfully states the realization that he's going to have to tell their families. And lastly, we have Anjali Mohindra? Man, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Most Doctor Who fans would probably know her from the Sarah Jane Adventures, where she played Ronnie. No, not that Ronnie. That one. I thought she did a good job in this episode. As good as anyone can do playing a two-dimensional villain under all that makeup. I thought the plot of the episode was enjoyable as well. The idea that these scavengers just want to steal an engineer for a ship made from various parts they stole, and that they don't understand really, was a new enough and unique concept, and a great way for a historical adventure about two of the world's most famous inventors to go. All in all, it was a very enjoyable and well-written episode. Unlike last week, while there was, I think, a message underlying in this one about profiting off of somebody else's work, as opposed to creating your own, it wasn't one that felt out of place as much. With Orphan 55, it just felt like they tacked a speech on the end, and that made it feel jarring and kind of out of place. But here, what was there was woven throughout. I'd give this episode 8 out of 10. Bye for now, guys. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and check out the other videos on the channel. See you next week when I review the next episode, Fugitive of the Jadoon. No Crow Blow Show! Ha ha ha!